Big transformation in the last quarter?
Yeah, it was. We were just efficient. That's pretty much the game in summary. We had a lot of inside 50s. We smashed them in that area, and they smashed us in efficiency inside 50. So that was probably I guess going inside 50 was probably where the game was going to be won and lost today. Possession type stuff was fairly similar. They beat us in the contests, but that was mainly in their defensive 50. But yeah, it was a bit of a who could enter and who could be efficient sort of game today. I'm sure you blokes will all agree it's probably one of the ugliest things you've seen for about 3 quarters. So, what's that?
It was a 25-minute quarter, I reckon.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen that.
No, it was a funny old game, wasn't it?
Did you feel like you won a game of footy by playing one good quarter?
One efficient quarter. No, I thought our consistency of effort was there the whole game, to be honest. I thought there's little things that let us down, technical things that we can fix. Some things are skill-based, like the entry kicks, just some composure with the ball. We nail some of those, the ball doesn't transition down the other end. So they're encouraging signs that things we're working on now are smaller things as opposed to the big-ticket stuff.
When you say encouraging signs, like a McStay and other players, but I mean, had you seen that before? Or?
With Dan?
Yeah.
No, we recruited him knowing he could play both ends of the ground. So he's sort of in that Harry Taylor mould. That's the style of player he is, and he can jump and mark the ball. So we were using him there as relief, in the first half for Steph Martin when he went off the ground, and he was showing so much form in his glimpses. We decided to keep him there in that last quarter and a bit, and credit to him, he took the game on and took some marks. So it was really good.
Were you confident at 3/4 time that the weight of inside 50s would get you over the line? Or?
No, I didn't think it'd get me over the line. Us over the line, sorry. I was just hoping that we were able to find a way through. We changed the game up a little bit to help them in that area, but they were able to knock a few over, which is good, and break the 50, which is always a good sign.
Were you happy with how the guys took the game on? Was it their sort of willingness to run, or was it Melbourne's sort of defence that stopped you sort of scoring?
I thought we were willing to run the whole game, to be honest. I thought that they really like to deny the opposition the ball with uncontested marks. That's their style, and we let them have that for a while. So that was a bit frustrating defensively. But I thought our run wasn't bad the whole game. It was, as I mentioned before, it was just that, we have 60 inside 50s and to only go up 32%. That's the game. I mean, I'd like to give you more than that, but that was the biggest frustration in the box.
It's an easy game from where we sit every week, Justin, but are you conscious on a game like that it isn't a great spectacle?
Yeah, 3/4 time I said this is the worst game I think I've ever seen. So it was. Well, you just have to look at the scoreboard. That can tell you often if a good game's good or not. If there's teams that kick 15 goals each at 3/4 time or teams that kick 6 goals each, you kind of go, well, geez, this is a bit of an ugly game, bit of a scrap. And it was. So I don't think anyone's going to be running out to buy that one.
What do you put it down to? Is it frustrating to play against them, given the style of play, the defensive nature, or is it any other reasons behind the first 3 quarters, why it appeared like that?
Yeah, they're a good defensive team. They get numbers behind the ball. So you always have to enter your 50 with more opposition numbers. So that means there's more decisions for the kicker, and it makes it more difficult for him. With our maturity and where we're at, we don't have Stevie J breaking the 50 and making, we don't have those sorts of elite decision makers. We're growing into that, and we're getting better at that. But that was the main area to fall over. So I think with every week and every year we'll get better at that.
They've got Adelaide away in Essendon. I mean, how proud are you that a young side can work through that sort of strangle and then kick clear? Is that a fair step forward?
What it shows is probably a little bit of what's inside our players, and the fact that they've been continually working hard on their game, and irrespective of what the season wins and losses has told us, we're willing to accept a challenge week by week, and that's a good sign. The group's buoyant, they're not falling away, but we still have 4 weeks to go in that area to get that right, and we want to continue that. We want to keep the opposition to low scores, and we want to continue to fight it out. They put us in a situation to kick clear late, but that's the sort of goal for our team.
In the fourth quarter, I think the G's went 2 goals up, 13 points up about that. Did you feel like they saw the game as sort of being able to lock down from that point? They put players back, or
no? Yeah, you thought it was a match-winning lead, wouldn't you? 13 points up with 28 minutes to go, but it was just a sort of game. As I said, we tried to open up the midfield space a little bit then we just sort of threw caution to the wind a little bit, and funny enough, it worked. It just helped a little bit when we try to open up the game a little bit, and we bring numbers around stoppage. We stopped doing all that sort of stuff. We just sort of pulled numbers apart and went to basic sort of one-on-one footy, and it worked a bit better. So sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But the players took it on, and they were able to take, continually, as I said, not get frustrated by the inefficiency inside 50 and keep working. So it's a real credit to them, and credit to our leaders and Rocky and Jed and Daniel Merritt and guys like that to keep on ploughing on.
Leppa, before you went up this time, before you got the gig, did you have much of an opinion of Steph Martin? Like, you at Richmond or wherever? Did you?
Oh, well, everyone knew Steph had good ability within the competition. He hadn't had his chance for whatever reason, particularly in the ruck, because the problem you see with ruckmen that start in the forward line, the more ruck minutes they get, the better they play, and he's one of those. So he's sort of, whilst it's not great that Western Leuenberg have injured themselves, he's sort of got the advantage of that, hasn't he? Been thrown into the deep end, really. And I'll tell you what, if he's playing like that the whole year, he'd be winning our best and fairest easy, because that's how good he's been. So it's it's an amazing turnaround. So it's a good credit to him.
Are you further advanced than you thought you would be at this stage?
Oh, I don't know about further advanced. It's a hard one. There's wins and losses externally. There's when you watch on the inside, the team, the compliancy in our game planning and what they're doing is building with every week. How long it takes, it's always a difficult one. Depends on the maturity of the group, depends on availability of list. Depends on a lot of things. I'm wrapped with our progress though. From round 1 to round, what it is now, 19, we're going the right way. So that is the good sign. And as I said, that's probably the bit I'm happy with, but I want to continue going the right way.
Do you expect Daniel Merritt to maybe face a bit of scrutiny tomorrow for that hit in the last quarter?
Oh, it probably will. I mean, the umpires. I actually didn't see the close-up. Sometimes these things look better on TV. You can tell me it look better or worse. I only saw it from the faded light of the roof, and I couldn't quite tell from my angle. Obviously, it looked like the crowd went up, so I'm sure there was something there. But whether it was late, really high, really bad, or just 50 metres, I don't know.
Just on that bit of commentary before the game about the roof, are you happy with it open today?
No, terrible. Who likes it? Put your hand up. Do you guys like it? You like it open, do you?
Only from where we sit, it's fantastic.
Yeah, okay. I suppose you don't get much sun in Melbourne.
Did the players say it was in their eyes or anything?
Well, the umpires did. I spoke to the umpires before the game. They hate it because it's very difficult to look through the light and make it, through shade and light, and try and make an accurate decision sometimes for them as well. So they probably won't admit to that, but they told me privately that they're not happy with, making those calls. Sometimes it's difficult, and you can see the players. How many times did and some, there's a lot of games played in the sun, but obviously the ground's built on a funny shape that the sun goes right in your eyes too. But
It was just such a nice day, though.
I think a lot of people got asked about it, actually, Coach. I think to a man everyone voted to shut the roof, but they still go keep it open. But anyway, that's not up to me. It's a bit of a sidebar, really, of what's going on. Thank you, guys.